what up guys, how you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of The Road to Glory. Happy Sunday everyone. I hope you're enjoying a nice relaxed weekend. I certainly am, because I've played some more Weekend League in July and actually it hasn't been too bad at all. So that is the main focus of today's episode. Push up from the, 4 wins and 1 loss that we were at the end of the last episode. However, if you haven't seen that and you want to check it out, check in the top corner up there and you can check out yesterday's episode. So you know what the team's looking like. It's all good. I do think people underestimate the fact that... Well, I don't see many people using that Pepe is what I'm trying to get across here. And I feel like... Don't sleep on Pepe. He's incredibly, incredibly good. And because he was a part of Ultimate TOTS... His price is way cheaper. Like, he was 1.5 million when I got him, but he's down at like 700k or something now, which is a very, very good price for someone which is basically performs like that Bale, if not a bit better. Obviously with more stamina and stuff like that, and it's just insanely good in the air for a winger. So, that's what I'll just start off with, is just how good he is. So we go back into the Weekend League at 4-1. First game, I come up against someone who's got 5 red cards, 5 TOTS red cards in his squad, but I wasn't necessarily worried about any of them. Maybe that Di Maria has caused me some trouble in the past, but they're not exactly the greatest ones. And what that tells me is that he's basically showing off the biggest and best players that he's got. As opposed to having loads of really good reds, but only a couple of them are good enough to get in the team, if you know what I mean. So, like my ones, I would say are like Alisson. Yeah, you can take or leave Alisson, just because you can with any other goalkeeper. Wijnaldum, I think, is a great card. I don't know if it scares many people because he's only 90 rated, but it's sort of like an underrated, amazing CDM on this game. And then Pepe, I would imagine, probably makes people think, oh god, we got to deal with this, is what I would imagine anyway. But Bale comes on at half-time and scores a goal after 4 minutes, so that shows you just how volatile and crazy good he can be. So we're 3-0 up in this game and seemingly cruising. But as Torres runs through and beats my defence, actually, I think I stepped out with Van Dijk, which is never a good thing. I need him to be the solid one that sort of stays there and just keeps the shape of the team. But he gets the 1 goal, and then I get a really weird goal there. Ronaldinho just sort of taps it in. I thought he was going to miss it somehow, but I almost feel like it would have been more difficult to miss. But then, yeah, Iago Aspas manages to score, because, you know, he has got 97 shooting. So if he does get in the right position on that left foot of his, then he is going to be able to score a goal. And then he actually hits the post there and Torres taps it in. And this game got a lot closer towards the end of the match than it should have done. It really shouldn't have been a 4-3, considering I was 3-0 up and 4-1 up, I think. So yeah, I don't know how I must have just fell asleep somewhat. Good news though, I know I said yesterday, and a few of you messaged me on like Twitter and Instagram and stuff saying how you're feeling. You said you felt all dizzy and stuff yesterday. That's sort of gone away a little bit. I'm still a bit dizzy, but feeling a lot more myself today, which if any of you wonder or care, I am feeling a bit better, which is good. So we move on into the next one. Again, another nice squad. I test the waters with a crazy shot of Eusebio off the bat, and then actually I think the header goes over the bar. Yeah, this one stayed 0-0 for quite some time. This guy was also a little bit like me, you know, if he gets the opportunity to flick it up when he's down on the wing to then get the cross in. We know it's the meta, we know it's the mechanic. I've moved away from it somewhat, but I do still seem to find myself scoring a lot of headers on this game. And with this guy doing it as well, I was almost a little bit like, yeah, anything you can do, I can do better. So I tried to do quite a lot of crosses. So we whip one in here and actually score it with Van Dijk. But what I think my opponent was doing there was moving his goalkeeper around way too much. Because I'd done a couple of crosses in the first half, he was anticipating the crosses to happen. So he was moving his goalkeeper out, and Donnarumma's very, very fast. So he was stopping my crosses from happening. But if you are totally focused on your goalkeeper and nothing else, maybe something like that can happen. So I basically just like did the same thing all game and then just called his bluff when he moved the goalkeeper to block that back post cross, and then scored one with Lozano just into a basically open net. And then when I scored that bicycle kick with Pepe, I wasn't actually in control of Pepe at the time that cross went in. I was on Eusebio, but it changed him very, very late. And then he just goes and scores a bike. And, I mean, my opponent quit before he could even let me watch the replay. So 3-0 in a game which was pretty tight for a very long time made me feel superb about myself. Just because, I don't know, it's always nice to win and come away with a victory when it's a fairly tough game. Next team, I didn't know what to make of it. I figured substitutes were going to happen just because that doesn't look like a very meta team. And the substitutes do happen, but not before I get the chance to score a kickoff goal right at the very start. We sort of do a couple of skill moves, end up getting through Ronaldinho. That shot right there had to take a deflection off a couple of players, surely. Otherwise, there's no way he gets that much power behind a finesse. I think it got deflected, which then picked up some velocity or something, and that's why the ball flew into the back of the net or got past Lloris because of a deflection and pace on the ball and stuff. But I'm 2-0 up after 6 minutes, so this game's going good. I just wanted to just bury it. I wanted to get another goal. I wanted to make this guy quit. I want to move through this weekend league as quickly as possible because it is July and ideally we would be spending a little bit more time outside or less time on the stressful weekend league, and the rage quits, if they keep coming, that's just going to mean that we get to spend a little bit more time outside enjoying the sunshine anyway. So, yeah, 3 shots, 3 on target, 3 goals, and a 3-0 win there. Brings us up to 7 wins. Now, I haven't asked you to do so yet. If you wouldn't mind doing me a massive favour, smashing that thumbs up button, I'd really appreciate it. Your support on the series has been incredible all year long. If we can try and push over that 1,000 likes on this Sunday, I'd be very, very happy with that. So, this guy actually subbed off the red player. Oh, by the way, I don't understand what David Luiz just did there. Now, we end up conceding, but I want to show you this again. David Luiz slid, but then sort of stood up and backed off before going through with the complete slide, which would have knocked that ball out for a corner. I don't know what's going on there, Dave, but yeah, if you could maybe not do that next time, that would be great. It didn't take long for us to get back in this game, though, so it was all good. I could sort of forget about it. And we'd been playing so well, and actually we'd been scoring some fairly lucky goals throughout our little journey as well. So every now and again, you kind of get one that goes against you. And right here, I go 2-1 down against this guy. I was peppering his goal fairly decently. I would say that maybe he was having a better game than me, though, and was or even though his team was probably slightly worse, he was better than me, as you can see by the opportunities had. 10 shots, 9 on target, 57% possession. I was getting probably not quite dominated because my chances were all right. I was just missing them. But yeah, in the second half, it sort of went a bit further. I brought my goalkeeper out early, but it didn't seem to register very quickly, or Alisson wasn't very quick off his line. So it allowed the space for Lozano to score. And then just later on in the game, I was trying to give it my all to get back into it. He goes down the other end, whips a cross in, and Cristiano Ronaldo is Cristiano Ronaldo. He's always going to score those belters, isn't he? So, yeah, it ends up going 4-2, and it's a bit too late to get back in the game. I scored a consolation with Eusebio right there. Really nice, powerful shot. But he just held the ball for the last couple of minutes, which is exactly what you should do if you were in that situation. And probably a fair loss from that game right there. So that takes us to 7-2. Now, we were 4-1. So we need to win the next game here if we want to stay on this win 4 games, lose 1 ratio. So we move into the next game. Quite worried about seeing Robin, Mendy, Mane, Bernardo Silva. There's some talented players on this pitch that I need to absolutely not let me be shown up by. I get super lucky with the ball coming off the post from Ronaldinho shot, and like that stupid angle that Eusebio was able to score the first time shot from is just a little bit crazy. And then we whip it in, and I'm not sure who gets on the end of that. I'm pretty sure that is Eusebio, and that is a 2-0 header. Rage quit after 21 minutes. All right, okay. With that team that you've got there, I was actually kind of surprised, but the thing that I think this guy did wrong was he was playing that Robin as a left striker. So he couldn't hit the first time shots because he would take them with the weak foot. That's totally the wrong thing to do in this current meta and mechanic of the game. You would play Robin as on the right side so that you could fizz the ball into him and he could strike it on his left foot, right? So yeah, anyway. This next guy had a red Pepe, which is something that I've come up against a couple of times. But like I said, I think people are sleeping on him. I feel like they're not realising the potential, the talent that this guy has. And look at it. All the luck that happened there for me to then get the ball falling to me. Yeah, that wasn't really skill. That was just complete luck that ended up happening. And then the first time shot. If it's green and it's Eusebio, then you can pretty much say, see you later, as my opponent quits at 2-0 right there as well. So we're going for a little stage here of getting a couple of goals and people are quitting. I feel like that might be like July syndrome, where, yeah, people want to get to their 14 or their 17 wins, whatever you whatever you want to do. But it is July, and if you are a couple of goals down, normally you can give away a few losses, so they just quit and move on to the next one. And I feel like maybe I would be kind of the same. I think if I go 3-0 down in the first half, I would probably quit and just move on to the next one, because I can afford to give away some losses. Let me know if you think if you would do that, or I guess that's kind of what's happening, because people seem to be quitting a little bit easier than throughout the year anyway. So, I mean, and this guy as well, does he not quit straight after this goal? I'm pretty sure he does. Does he? Yes, he does. He just quits. I went 1-0 up after 17 minutes. What are you doing? And because it quit quite quickly after the goal went in, I thought for some reason it wasn't going to give me the win. But we ended up getting it here. And what does that bring me up to? Is that the 10th win? I feel like it is. So, yeah, we're up to 10-2. So we're doing really well right now. Only 12 matches played, and we do have 10 wins under our belt. And that's obviously a very, very good thing. Means that, I mean, in my eyes, I haven't played the weekend league since, I haven't played the weekend league since Ultimate TOTS. So there was the 2 weekends that I missed there, where I actually don't know really what they've put in packs. From my understanding, they've put every TOTS is in packs, or in reds, right? But if you get 14 wins, you're not guaranteed someone from a major league. And if you get 17 wins, I think it gives you definitely one from like the Prem, the Bundes, the Serie A, the La Liga, whatever it is. So I feel like our chances are still pretty good from even Gold 3, because there's a lot of rubbish players even in just like the big leagues. So I don't know. It's all going to be dependent on how well the next few games go, what I'm up to this weekend, how I'm feeling, whether I can be bothered in July to carry on from 14 up to 17, or whatever. So we'll see how that goes, but you'll see some more weekend league footage in tomorrow's episode. We are up to 10-2, and I do like that. That's pretty good. So if we could get 100 likes for every win that we've got so far, we would hit 1,000 likes on today's video. Do me that massive favor, smash that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Follow my Twitter, follow my Insta if you want to watch my stories of me doing all sorts of rubbish with my life. I'm sure that interests some of you, but not all of you. But come and follow me on there and see what I get up to and stuff. Most importantly, I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.